Forgiveness is the first step towards healing. But why does it feel so difficult to let go of the pain that others have caused us? Why does it seem like the scars left behind by betrayal, hurt, and disappointment linger longer than we expect? Today, we embark on a transformative journey to explore the powerful, life-changing force of forgiveness. Through real-life stories, profound insights, and the wisdom from the world's greatest minds, we'll discover how letting go of resentment can unlock a future of peace, joy, and emotional freedom. Forgiveness is often misunderstood. Many think that it's about excusing someone's actions or pretending that what happened never mattered. But it's not about excusing. It's about freeing yourself. It's about releasing the hold that anger, resentment, and pain have over you. Forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it allows us to heal from its grip, giving us the strength to move forward. I remember feeling like a prisoner in my own emotions. For years, I carried the weight of betrayal, nursing the wounds of a broken trust. My mind was a constant replay of every painful moment, each one feeding the fire of anger and bitterness. It was like holding onto a heavy stone pressing down on my chest. And for the longest time, I convinced myself that forgiving was a weakness. How could I forgive someone who had shattered my world? How could I let go of the very thing that had defined so much of my pain? But here's the truth. I was the one in chains. Every time I replayed that hurt, every time I allowed myself to linger in the sting of betrayal, I was choosing to stay in the past. I was giving that hurt the power to define my present and ultimately my future. I wasn't just hurting myself emotionally, I was also poisoning my peace, my happiness, and my relationships. Then, something incredible happened. I stumbled upon the words of Lisa Terkirst, and they were a beacon of light in my darkness. She spoke of forgiveness not as condoning the wrong, but as releasing the hold of anger and resentment. Forgiveness, she said, is not about erasing the pain, but about reclaiming your power. That was the moment everything began to change. I realized that holding on to that anger wasn't punishing the other person, it was punishing me. I was allowing the very people who had hurt me to continue affecting my life in ways they no longer had the right to. So I began my journey. It wasn't easy. Some days the anger surged back, like a storm threatening to pull me under, but I kept going. Step by step, I started to acknowledge the hurt, really feel it, without letting it consume me. I wrote it down, I cried, I allowed myself to process the emotions without fear, and slowly, ever so slowly, I started to breathe again. I started to see the chains that had bound me. As I continued this path, I realized that unforgiveness was taking a toll on my life in ways I couldn't ignore. My relationships suffered. I became disconnected from the people I loved, unable to truly engage because the weight of my past was always between us. My joy felt like a distant memory, clouded by the heavy fog of resentment. But in that moment of realization, I understood that forgiveness wasn't about excusing the wrongs. It was about freeing myself. It was about choosing to break free from the prison of bitterness, to stop giving my past so much power over my present. It was a journey, a slow, imperfect journey. But with each step, I began to feel lighter. I felt the weight of resentment lifting off my shoulders. The chains were breaking. And as I started to forgive, not just in words, but in actions, in my heart, I found peace, real peace. Not the kind of peace that comes from pretending nothing happened, but the kind of peace that arises from choosing to heal, from choosing to stop letting the past control my emotions and my happiness. There were still tough days. The pain would resurface, and sometimes it felt like a battle. But with every passing day, I learned that forgiveness wasn't a single act, it was a process. It wasn't about erasing the past, it was about refusing to let the past control me any longer. Now, I know that forgiveness is not just about the other person, it's about me. It's about releasing myself from the burden I've carried. It's about reclaiming my life. Forgiveness doesn't change the past, it changes the future. And this isn't just my story. Research shows that forgiveness can have profound effects on our mental health and well-being. It can reduce stress, lower blood pressure, and even improve our physical health. Holding onto anger doesn't hurt the person who hurt us. It hurts us. When we carry unforgiveness, it's like holding onto a backpack filled with stones. Every step is harder, every breath more labored. But the moment we release that weight, when we forgive, it's as if we are unburdened. We are set free. Imagine for a moment that you're carrying a backpack, heavy with rocks. Every betrayal, every disappointment, every hurt. Each one is a stone that you add to the bag. Every time you replay the hurt, you add another rock. The burden gets heavier and heavier, and yet you carry it because you believe that by holding on to the anger, you are somehow punishing the person who wronged you. But the truth is, you are only punishing yourself. When you forgive, you're not letting them off the hook. You're letting yourself off the hook. You're setting yourself free. Forgiveness is not about condoning what happened. It's not about pretending it was okay. It's about recognizing that holding on to the anger is only hurting you. You are the one who suffers. You are the one who is weighed down. But when you forgive, you let go of that weight. You reclaim your peace, your joy, your energy. So I ask you, who do you need to forgive today? What burden are you carrying that you're ready to put down? Imagine the freedom, the relief, the lightness you could feel if you let go of that weight. Imagine a life where the past no longer controls you, where the hurts no longer define you. Forgiveness doesn't change what happened. It transforms what happens next. It changes you. It opens the door to healing, to growth, to joy. It is the first step towards living a life free from the chains of resentment and anger. And when you choose forgiveness, you choose freedom. You choose peace. The journey of forgiveness is not an easy one, but it is one worth taking. For when you forgive, you are not only healing yourself, you are reclaiming your life. If you found this message inspiring and are ready to take that first step towards healing, make sure to like, subscribe, and join me on this journey. We're in this together. Let's continue to explore the power of forgiveness, manifestation, and emotional growth. Hit the bell icon so you never miss an empowering story that could change your life. Remember, the freedom to heal is within you. Take the first step today.